That's the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, and verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. Right? So we try to enter into the straight gate, and as the straight gate becomes clearer and clearer, it's important that we not only keep our eyes singular, but also have a level of understanding of what is going outside the gate, or what would be happening in our so-called carnal lives. We have individuals who are outside this knowledge who the Lord is judging, and we have to understand that the Lord requires that which is past. Although we don't remember things, the Lord remembers things, and his ways are perfect, right? And in gleaning knowledge from the scriptures and understanding what he said, we're able to see the plight, torment of individuals, and get even further understanding of what we've escaped from and why we should continue to fear the Lord. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 16. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause him to fail. Right? When we talk about the antipathy between good and evil, it's beyond our comprehension, the way in which it shows up, the way it has been presented, the way we have overlooked it. And we thank the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai for his eyes salve for us to see what exactly has taken place, even in our desire to do good, the evils that have happened to us, right? In order to break these curses, we must understand the loops that we have been in and take them not just at face value, but dig beneath the surface to see the root of the issue. Obviously, it's obedience or disobedience against the Lord, but through willful sin, pride, jealousy, envy, hatred, emulations, the spirit of disobedience manifests itself in real time. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 15, that which hath been is now, and that which hath already been, and God required that which is hath passed, right? We are all reaping what we're sowing, right? The scripture says that the wicked will look to please the poor, but it is too late because their offering is none and void, has been rejected in the heavens, because even that offering is not coming out of a sincere and pure heart. It's coming from a place of pride, arrogance, superiority, as if they are doing you a favor and you should be grateful of eating their crumbs. But the Lord is the one who promotes. Promotion does not come from the east or the west, but from the Lord. He sets down one and puts down another, right? It's the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 19. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. In the way which the Lord repays, we don't have to lift a finger or do anything, but just watch, right? As things unravel, spiral out of control, and self-destruct. Because that's the way they were always meant to be. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 6, let no man deceive you with vain words, for because of these things cometh wrath of God upon the children of disobedience. Right? As it is said, individuals try to outsmart the spirit instead of coming upright, the straight way, correct, in humility and in faith. No matter from what posturing, if from a sincere heart and in truth, your sacrifice will be accepted. But a lot of individuals want to come up some other way, not desiring the sincere milk of the word and being born again. It's the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 5 or 3. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God the power, Yahweh Shem Shai, to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations, and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High, Yahweh Shem Shai, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of the Hamashiach. Right? Exalted itself against the knowledge of the Lord. My people perish for a lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I shall also reject thee. A lot of individuals, well, I've been indoctrinated, brainwashed, things of that nature, and we all have been under different levels of programming. But with that being said, the willfulness of rejecting knowledge is a rejection of the sacrifice the Lord has made, and that is a grave mistake. Verse 6, and having a readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. Right? So we must understand the concepts of justice, divine justice, based upon the atrocities that have occurred on macro as well as micro levels. And some stories not meant to be told on this side, but the Lord and the angels have kept an account and a record of everything. And the Lord is a just weight and a just power. So all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. It's the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3 and verse 8. Therefore wait upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather all the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even on my fierce anger for all the kingdoms. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. Right? So the Lord has a godly jealousy upon his chosen, upon his elect, and for what the nations have done to the children of Israel, And even what the 2/3 have done unto the 1/3, the Lord is making examples and going to make examples of individuals for touching the apple of his eye, right? Fears will come upon those who do not want to hear the reproof of the Lord. So let us continue to walk humbly before him and walk in obedience so that we are not cast aside with the children of disobedience. Final scripture is Isaiah chapter 66, verse 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire and with chariots like a whirlwind to rend his anger and fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. Right? So thanks be to the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, for the death that has occurred, the carnal death, the ego death that has occurred for many of us, so that we have lived, and through living and through dying, we create life in others. That is how the talent and the gift is passed on for those who are meant to receive it. But for those who continue to operate under the guise of righteousness and operate in the shadows of evil, the Lord sees you and has marked you and will repay for your works. For the Lord requires that which is past. What a man soweth, that shall he reap, whether it be from a nation or an individual, according to the book of Job. Right? So let's continue to fear before the Lord and walk boldly and fearfully and stand in awe of his majestic and mighty works. Remember, freely receive, freely give.